What if I told you that I'm holding a piece of metal that was once touched by a legionary soldier in Julius Caesar's own army? This isn't just any ancient coin. It's a silver denarius that can be traced directly to one of history's most famous conquerors. It was minted in Caesar's military camp, paid to his loyal troops, and crafted from silver seized from Rome's treasury. This small disc tells an epic tale of power, rebellion, and the birth of an empire. Today, we're going to uncover the secrets of Caesar's famous Elephant Denarius, and I'll show you how this remarkable artifact can provide us with a tangible, direct link to one of the most pivotal moments in Roman history. So get ready to journey back 2,000 years and hold history in the palm of your hand. The year is 49 BCE, and the Roman Republic is tearing itself apart. On one side, we have the Senate and their champion general, Pompey the Great, and on the other, a rebellious general named Julius Caesar, who has just done the unthinkable. He's crossed the Rubicon River with his army, which has ignited a civil war. But how did we get here? Let's rewind a bit and look at the extraordinary life that led Caesar to this fateful moment. Born in 100 BCE to a noble family, Julius Caesar's path to power was anything but straightforward. As a young man, he narrowly escaped execution during a political purge, setting the stage for a life of ambition and risk-taking. But it was in Gaul where Caesar truly made his mark. In 58 BCE, Caesar was appointed governor of Roman Gaul, giving him command of several legions. What followed was a series of brilliant military campaigns that would last for 8 years. Caesar faced and defeated a diverse array of opponents, from the Helvetii tribe attempting to migrate through Roman territory, to the German forces of Ariovistus threatening Gallic allies of Rome. Perhaps his most famous achievement was the Siege of Alesia in 52 BCE, where he defeated the Gallic leader Vercingetorix. In this remarkable feat of military engineering, Caesar's forces simultaneously besieged the Gallic fortress and defended against a massive relief army, eventually forcing Vercingetorix's surrender. These campaigns not only expanded Rome's territory, but also filled Caesar's coffers and won him the loyalty of battle-hardened legions. This all cemented his reputation as a military genius. And Caesar wasn't just a military leader, he was a masterful politician and propagandist. He wrote extensively about his conquests, sending dispatches back to Rome that celebrated his victories and boosted his popularity among the common people. But Caesar's growing power alarmed many in the Senate back in Rome. They ordered him to disband his army and return back to the city. Here, Caesar faced a choice: give up his power and potentially face prosecution, or he could take his loyal, battle-hardened legions and march on Rome itself. And now we're back on the border of Rome and Gaul, on the Rubicon River, and Caesar has made his decision. According to later historians, as he crossed the river, Caesar is said to have uttered the famous words, "The die is cast." Upon entering Rome, Caesar made a beeline for the state treasury. This wasn't just about money, though. It was about legitimacy and power. The Roman historian Plutarch, writing about 150 years after the events, dramatizes the scene. Plutarch has Caesar say to Metellus, the tribune in charge who tried to prevent him from entering, "Stand aside, young man. It is harder for me to say this than to do it." The treasury that Caesar seized was known as the Aerarium Saturni, or the Treasury of Saturn. It was housed in the Temple of Saturn, which was located at the western end of the Roman Forum, at the foot of the Capitoline Hill. And this wasn't just any building. It was one of the most ancient and revered sites in Rome. It contained the wealth of the Roman state, accumulated over centuries. Let's break down what might have been inside. First, as I mentioned, you would have had gold and silver coins. Most of these would have been from tax collection across the Republic. But you'd also have precious metals in the form of ingots, bullion. But most interesting to me, the aerarium likely contained accumulated treasures from triumphal processions. When a Roman general celebrated a triumph, parading through the streets with spoils of war, much of that wealth ended up in the treasury. This hoard could have included exotic jewels from the east, ornate weapons and armor from defeated enemies, artworks and textiles from conquered cities, and even coins and bullion from foreign treasuries that were captured. While the exact amounts are difficult to verify, the Roman historian Appian gives us an idea of the scale of the wealth Caesar reportedly seized. Appian writes, "From the treasury, he took 15,000 bars of gold, 30,000 bars of silver, and 30 million sesterces in coin." This was an enormous sum, equivalent to billions in today's currency. By seizing this wealth, Caesar not only funded his campaign, but also struck a powerful symbolic blow against the Senate's authority. Caesar then decided to mint a new coin from this treasure, a coin that could spread his message far and wide, one that could potentially humiliate his enemies and cement him as the righteous one in the civil war. In his camp, Caesar ordered his military mints to create this coin. This is the Elephant Denarius, believed to have been minted under Caesar's authority around 49 to 48 BCE, likely using silver from the recently seized Roman treasury. Let's take a closer look at this fascinating piece of history. On one side we see a proud elephant, its trunk raised high, as if trumpeting its arrival, but look closely, it's not just standing there. The elephant is trampling on what appears to be a serpent or a dragon. It's a powerful image, isn't it? Almost like you can hear its triumphant cry. And there, directly below the elephant in a straight line, we see the name Caesar. Now let's flip the coin over. The reverse side is just as intriguing. Here we see a collection of symbols that might seem strange to us, but would have been instantly recognizable to a Roman. These are the sacred tools of a high priest: a sipulum, which is a small ladle, and a spergulum, which is a roped flail used for sprinkling holy water, a ceremonial axe, complete with the head of a wolf adorning the top, and finally on the right, an apex, which was the special cap worn by the high priest. With only a small amount of real estate to work with, each of these tiny images meant something. Let's decode what Caesar might have meant by including these on his coin. First off, the elephant on this coin is a fascinating symbol with multiple possible interpretations. It's important to note that the true meaning behind this imagery does remain a subject of debate among historians and numismatists. So let's explore some of the leading theories. One intriguing possibility comes from linguistics. In the past, one of Caesar's family members had killed an elephant, and as such the animal had a significance for his family and name. The other being that the word elephant in the African Punic language resembled the word Caesar, but many people have their doubts about these theories. Another theory proposes that the elephant represents Caesar himself. In this interpretation, the elephant symbolizes Caesar's power, strength, and unstoppable nature. Just as an elephant can trample its enemies, so too could Caesar crush any opposition in his path. A third theory, and the most interesting one to me, connects the elephant to Caesar's main rival, Pompey the Great. I find it interesting because it references a gaffe from Roman pop culture. Years before this coin was minted, Pompey attempted to enter Rome for his triumph in a chariot drawn by elephants. However, the city gates proved too narrow, too short for his grandiose display, resulting in a rather embarrassing situation for Pompey where he had to back up his elephants and enter the gates through less glamorous means. With this in mind, some historians have suggested that Caesar might be mockingly referencing this incident by using the elephant as his symbol, subtly undermining his opponent's dignity. The serpent or dragon beneath the elephant's feet is generally interpreted as a representation of Caesar's enemies, specifically Pompey the Great. I've also seen it suggested that the snake could represent a carnix. A carnix was a type of horn used by Celtic tribes, often in battle. The name under the elephant is interesting because while it was common for moneyers to put their names on coins in the Republic, Caesar was definitely going beyond his traditional bounds by putting his name on this coin, making it known that he is the one in power.
I'm the captain now.
Now that Caesar had accomplished his personal message on the obverse of the coin, let's look at the reverse. His inclusion of a collection of religious implements would remind anyone who saw it that Caesar was in fact the Pontifex Maximus, which was the highest priestly position in the Roman state. This was just another way to solidify his legitimacy to the common Roman in his war against the Senate. I think the genius of this coin's design lies in its combination of the military might, personal power, and religious legitimacy. It's a powerful message of total authority, conveyed through the small but potent medium of this coin. And though it might just look like a small piece of silver, it's a time capsule with a documented history that makes it extraordinarily rare and fascinating to a coin collector. The fact that its first owner was likely a Roman legionary who received this coin as payment from Caesar while fighting for him in the Civil War makes it one of the most insane coins for me to hold in my bare hands. This specific link to a moment in history is what makes collecting ancient coins, for me, so thrilling. Each piece isn't just dead currency, it's a living link to the people who came before us. When it was minted, this coin represented a turning point for Rome. It's a snapshot of the death of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire, held right here in my hand. And it's been my absolute pleasure to share it with you. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments down below what other coins you'd like me to tell you about. Consider subscribing if you liked this video, and thanks for watching.